Well, we all lost something that day.
So, you got detention.
Don't worry, you guys, detention isn't all that bad, especially when we have Captain America on our side. Anyways, welcome back, True Believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very exciting Avengers project-related video. And in case you missed it, my previous video was going over the top 5 Iron Man armors I believe we need to see be featured in the Avengers project come launch, as well as my buddy Carlos, who did his own amazing video going over the top 5 costumes he would like to see for each hero within the Avengers project. So if you're someone who's insanely hyped for the Avengers project, I would highly recommend that you go and subscribe to Carlos's channel of The Initiative to learn everything there is to know about this game. And I can fully guarantee you guys that Carlos and I both have some awesome videos in store for all you Avengers fans to enjoy. But with all that said, let's finally move on to the list of the top 5 must-have Captain America suits to be featured within Marvel's Avengers come launch. So just like within my Iron Man video, this list consists of all the costumes that I personally would love to see be featured in Marvel's Avengers, so if there is a costume that you thoroughly do love that isn't on here, just keep in mind that this is all my own unique opinion. And to add on one more thing, all of these outfits would only consist of changing the cosmetic attire of your current Avenger that you are playing as. So even though there is a possibility that some of these outfits could be used to increase specific stats while you do play the game, I think they would only be used to change the look of your current character that you are playing as within the game itself. And a perfect example of this is none other than the most classic Captain America costume there is none other than his World War II suit. So as you should all know, Steve Rogers is in fact a man at a time who mainly served his country during the sad era of World War II as the super soldier known as Captain America. And while we can all easily identify the classic Captain America attire that we all know and love, one outfit that I do think is very underrated is his standard soldier uniform that he did have when he first started serving within the army. So if you're someone who actually thoroughly enjoys the brand new Captain America suit that we do see within the Avengers project, chances are that you'll also most likely enjoy wearing the standard World War II suit that Captain America does have during that time, given its much more soldier-esque look. Now, as a fan of the older versions of Captain America myself, I think it'd be very interesting to see Steve wear this uniform right next to the likes of the much more armored Iron Man and the crazier, bulkier version of Thor that we do have in this game already. And knowing that Crystal Dynamics themselves stated that there will be a plethora of outfits to choose from, ranging from fan-favorite costumes and classic attires, I definitely think this suit fits in that description. And given how the standard Captain America suit looks like already within the Avengers project, it makes me that much more curious to see how they would actually interpret the World War II costume and the other suits I have on this list within the world of the Avengers project. They could easily strip this design as well as the other costumes on this list for one-to-one accuracy from the comics, or they could actually put their own unique developer spin on it to actually change up the look. But regardless, I'd be thrilled if at least one, if at all any of these suits actually makes it within the game come launch. So moving on from the much more militaristic World War II suit is actually a costume that is not only a fan favorite within the comics, but also is included within one of the best MCU films of all time. And given that it's Captain America we're talking about, you should easily guess which film I'm referring to, which is none other than the stealth suit within the Winter Soldier. Fun fact for all you massive MCU fans is that Chris Evans has actually said that his most favorite Captain America suit that he's ever worn within the films he's been a part of is actually the stealth suit within the Winter Soldier. And based off of its much more simplistic and sleek design, I can easily see why that would be the case. Now, even though this is not my personal favorite Cap suit within the MCU, I still thoroughly love the much more tactical look that is implemented within the overall design. Not only are the massive amounts of blue supposed to make him more stealthy, but I also love how the shield is also blue and gray compared to the red, white, and blue design. Not to mention that the brand new suit that we do see of Captain America within the Avengers project is sporting a similar design to that of the stealth suit within the Winter Soldier. Not only does this suit have a more darker shade of blue compared to that of the lighter tones that he usually has, but he also has a very interesting striped pattern on the front of the suit's star. And knowing that the developers themselves stated that they looked at both the comics and the movies for inspirations when crafting their versions of the heroes' suits, I can definitely see a massive inspiration from the Winter Soldier within the Avengers project. And speaking of movies and comics, this next suit actually relates to a completely different iteration of Captain America within his main comic storyline. And even though Steve Rogers is the definitive version of Captain America for me personally, I actually thoroughly love one of the suits that his best friend slash arch enemy wears down down the line. And if you've guessed already, I'm mainly referring to none other than the time when Bucky Barnes actually took the mantle of Captain America. So the main problem with this suit is that there is a possibility that Winter Soldier could actually be playable within the Avengers project down the line after the game does release on May 15th, 2020. And if Bucky actually ends up being playable within the Avengers project, I'm not entirely sure whether or not this costume would be applied to Steve or Bucky himself. Still, I just thoroughly love the main essence of the black incorporated within this suit mixed with the red, white, and classic blue that we know from Steve's usual costume. However, as to whether or not the Winter Soldier could be incorporated within Marvel's Avengers either as a boss fight or as a playable character, that is still up for debate, but either way, I would just love to see this costume be in the game nonetheless. So as we move on to the end of this list, I do have to once again go back to the much more usual attires that Cap is known for within the movies and the comics, specifically within the first Avenger film. And while it may be severely outdated by today's standards, I still think it would absolutely be hilarious to see Crystal's version of this suit within the Avengers project. This especially relates to those of you who aren't major fans of how Cap looks within the game as of now and want to change into something a bit more fitting to Cap's usual character. And as you should all guess by now, I'm mainly referring to the classic red, white, and blue Captain America suit that we all know and love from the comics. It was absolutely hilarious in my opinion actually seeing Chris Evans wear the full-on classic red, white, and blue Cap suit within the first Avenger, and I know for a fact I would absolutely love it if it was to be featured within Marvel's Avengers. The main reason as to why I would love to see it so much is because the wings that are usually either painted on or etched in within the main helmet are just sticking out plain as day within the classic suit. And while I'm 99% sure that each character within the Marvel's Avengers roster will have some rendition of their classic attire, I just really hope that that is the case for a character like Captain America. And while Captain America's uniform is slowly growing on me the more I see it, I would really like to see what the classic suit would look like in this game's world as well. And finally, with the very last pick of the costume that I believe needs to be within Marvel's Avengers is one of the coolest Captain America suits I've ever seen on film. Similar to that of Iron Man, Captain America does actually have a few different renditions of his standard uniform that is showcased within a plethora of the MCU films. However, it wasn't until very recently where I believe we actually got to see the most definitive version of Captain America's suit ever put to screen. And while I can guarantee almost all of you have seen this film, I'm mainly referring to the outfit that he does wear at the very end of Avengers Endgame. For me personally, this is the perfect way to modernize the classic Captain America outfit on a live screen adaptation. Everything from the red, white, and blue color palette, as well as the awesome implementation of the scales featured on the front and sides of the suit, just looks absolutely breathtaking. And while there is a sad possibility that this suit in particular may be locked behind the form of microtransactions, if it is actually included within the game, I will be very happy nonetheless. Even though I would be extremely upset that I would have to pay more money just to wear this suit in the game, I actually would be a sucker and still do it because of how much I love this costume. But in the end, given how much freedom all the developers have when creating these outfits within the Avengers project, I am just very excited to see what they're going to do for Captain America in particular once the game does launch. So fingers crossed that the overall suit selection that will be featured within the Avengers project is a one that all fans will thoroughly enjoy. And with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of my top 5 list of suits that we need to see for Captain America within the Avengers project, and please let me know your personal top 5 picks yourself. If I had to choose only one of these suits, I would obviously choose the Endgame outfit because of how beautiful it looks on screen and in motion, but if I had to choose another one, I would actually go for the standard stealth suit. Now for me personally, I in fact will be wearing the classic / standard Captain America suit that we do see within the Avengers Project A-Day trailer throughout the entirety of that game's story, but once there is a chance to actually switch out the suit that you are wearing to possibly the Endgame outfit, I will take that chance once it is available. And with all that said, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.
Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have: patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?